Hey, what's up guys? I'm Sal. Thanks for checking out the video. I wanted to install a bed topper on my first gen Tundra for a little while now, but the problem I kept running into was they're kind of expensive, especially if you buy a backflip one or the really nice like roll and lock ones. That would be like my dream, but they're like $1,000 or more, and I can't justify spending that much money on a bed topper for this truck. So I looked around a little bit more and I found this vinyl option on Amazon for only 130 bucks. So I elected to go with it and I installed it last week. So in this video, I'll talk through the installation process, what all comes with this one, and then just kind of my first thoughts. So let's get into it. So this is everything that comes in the kit. You can see there's a rail for either side of the bed. It comes with this like rubber weather stripping on the bottom that helps seal it off. You can see the 3 brackets that can slide along their channel, and then Velcro on the outside. It's the same for both sides. This is the actual vinyl topper itself. It comes all rolled up. You got a little bag of hardware to help secure it down, the little instruction packet, and then these U brackets, which are actually what secures the sides to the sides of the bed. As far as the installation itself, you start with taking the vinyl tonneau cover and putting it up right next to the window where it's going to kind of sit. And then you take the 2 side rails, kind of loosely set them in place on either side. And the next step is to kind of connect all 3 of them together. And the way that you do that is you can see this little bracket here makes an L. It's kind of hard to make out, but there you go. There's the L. And there's an L on the sides there too, and you just kind of join the 2 L's up. Something I kept running into was the vinyl would kind of get pinched here, and it would prevent it from going in any further. So you'll notice I still have the bungee cord strapped around the vinyl, and I think that was kind of a mistake I made. If I had loosened it, it probably would have allowed the vinyl to move out of the way a little bit better. But this is where you're trying to get to, where it's flush up against the back there. And then on the back side, it's kind of hard to see, but there's that little metal screw on the left, and that's just a set screw. And you'll have to use the supplied Allen key to tighten that down. It's a huge pain in the butt, but that's what will actually hold it in place. This is me doing the same thing on the other side. Again, trying to lift up the vinyl to get the 2 L's to sit flush with each other, and then getting in there with the Allen key to tighten down the set screw. Once that was all set, you can slide the brackets down along their channel, and the goal is to spread them out pretty evenly along the bed there. You kind of got to look underneath. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm feeling where the channel starts, so you can see the gap underneath the side of the bed covers, and that's where you can put those U brackets. So this is me throwing the first U bracket in, and maybe you can tell right away something doesn't seem correct. It's coming in at a weird angle, and you'll see there's kind of that gap at the bottom that really shouldn't be there. I go to throw the screw in, or the bolt, and it doesn't even barely reach. So I was looking at it, and the left side of the U in this case is too tall. It doesn't let it sit all the way up, so the bottom part isn't even touching the bottom of that the bed rail. So I tried putting it in the circle holes. I tried putting it in the rectangle holes. It didn't fit, and it just wasn't right. So I ended up just taking an angle grinder to it. Took off maybe 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, something like that, and it fit a whole lot better. You can see it just goes in smoothly into the upper bracket, and it just kind of it works the way I would have expected it to work from the factory, being cut down. This is another angle of another one from the other side where, yeah, it just doesn't look right. It's not touching in the right spots, and you can see it's all crooked. It's probably got like 3 turns of that bolt holding it in place. This back one was trimmed down, and you can see it just looks a lot better. There's a lot more thread, and it's not quite as crooked. So cut them all down. They all ended up looking like that by the end of it. I did notice that I didn't do a great job spacing. You can see the back is kind of pulling up a tiny bit, so I just elected to slide those the back 2 aft a little bit, if you will, just to help disperse the load a little bit more. As far as moving them, really simple. Once they were trimmed, like I said, everything worked like I would expect it should work. With those all tightened down all the way, looking at how the rail is sitting on the bed, it is nice and straight, still flush. You can see that weather strip is nice and compressed. It's the same on both sides, and honestly, that is like the extent of the installation. You can roll out the tonneau cover now and clip it into place. Um, I was pleasantly surprised with the install of this. It required like zero fiddling, zero modifications, zero. I'm sorry, it did require modifications. As far as the tonneau cover, I meant no fiddling. It just came back, snapped right into place. This was like my first attempt, and it worked perfectly. As far as rolling it back up, it is arguably easier than rolling it out. You can see in the middle there's this little strap. You just pull it down. The quick releases disengage, and you can roll it up. This is one of the biggest selling points for me for going this vinyl route, is just how easy it is to set up and take down. So you may have noticed that I didn't actually install this at my house here in Virginia. I installed it down in North Carolina, and there is a method to my madness. My thought process was I wanted to test to see if I could see a change in my fuel economy. I was hoping that this would buy me a few extra miles per gallon on the highway. So the way I worked it is I drove down there with the stuff in the bed, installed it once I got down there, and then drove home a few days later, and I was able to compare the gas mileage. So I think I might have been a little unrealistic in my expectations. I thought this was going to buy me like 5 miles per gallon on the highway. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. I just thought it was going to clean up the airflow coming off the cab a little bit. But anyways, I got like 17.1 miles per gallon on the way down without the topper on. And then on the way home, doing the math, it came out to like 17.05 or something. So the exact same gas mileage. So if you're buying this to get like 40 miles per gallon out of your truck, not worth the money. It's not going to happen, but I can't imagine it hurts at all. It just isn't a significant improvement. Okay, so because it didn't affect the fuel economy at all, that's one of the things I really thought I was missing out on, not having a topper. That means I'm kind of 0 for 1 on things that I was hoping to get out of this thing. But the other main thing that I was hoping to get from a topper is just waterproofing the bed. There's been a couple times where I wish that I had a topper because stuff in the bed just got soaked. But one specific time, I picked up my sister-in-law and her fiance at the time at the airport, and it was pouring out, and the truck was packed with people, and their stuff had to go in the bed, and it just got soaked, and I felt terrible. So that was like the prime time that I was really considering getting a topper. And then like 2 years went by, and now we're finally doing it. But anyways, about the waterproofing, you can see right now on the topper itself, it's like, I wouldn't call it hydrophobic, but the water is just kind of beating up on top. So that's good. It doesn't like leak through the vinyl as you would probably expect. And then looking inside of the bed, there is no water leakage on the sides, nothing on the back. And then up front, you can kind of see it, but there's a little bit of just streaking down the front. And that's mostly, I think, just from it running off and then running down. So with that in mind, like I knew this wasn't going to be 1,000% watertight, and that's not really what I was asking from it. I just am hoping that in a pinch, I have to pick someone up from the airport, or I have to throw some stuff in the truck because the Audi's down for whatever reason. And I can throw stuff back here and not worry about it getting soaked. I can drive it around and it'll stay relatively dry. As far as another thing that most people try to get out of bed toppers is like security, where people can't like reach in and grab your stuff. I don't know. The big thing against vinyl in that realm is people can just cut it. So you lose that going with vinyl over a hardtop, but it's never really been a concern of mine. I keep nothing in my bed anyways, so that would really suck if someone just cut open the vinyl to see that there's nothing in there. Also, I never locked the tailgate either, so they could always just look. Let's see, anything else? Oh, the other thing I really liked about this option, specifically vinyl over a hard folding top, is I hate when, hate is a strong word. I don't like how it looks when the tri-fold ones fold up into the window and it blocks the whole back window if you want to use the whole bed. I just think it looks kind of silly, and I don't know, I don't love the functionality. So what I really love about this thing, and I'll do it real time for you guys, is you just pull this tab to pop it down, that releases it, and then the cool thing is it just rolls all the way up to the window, and then you have your full bed access without really hindering anything else. So that's that. These straps come around like this, lock in if they want to. Oh, just like that on both sides. And now you have full access to the bed. These are obviously exposed now, but you can still see out the back. And I think that's such a better use of the space. So that was one of my biggest selling points for this one specifically. And then as far as rolling it back out, really, really simple. You just take off the bungees from both sides. You just roll it out. It's got these support bars. There's 3 of them as it comes along. There's the second one. There's the third one. And then you take these little bars, sit it into their holes, which on mine, it's a little bit narrow. You kind of got to pull it out and then it will sit in. But once it's in like that, you just push and it locks down into place, just like that. And then you're good to go. So this will come up like that. You come down, pull it and Velcro the sides. Like that. Come around, do the other side. And this is kind of cool because if you get it, if it's all wrinkly at all, like you can control that. You can just pull it tighter. But you saw that took me, what, 2 minutes? And now it's nice and smooth, super taut, and it just looks so clean to me. I really like it. So far it's been mostly good things that I've said, but it's not perfect. There are a couple things that I'd like to bring up. The biggest one being the brackets that you have to modify in order to install it. I think that's stupid and wrong. You shouldn't have to modify stuff out of the box to make it work on your truck. Yes, this is a super cheap option, only 130 bucks for a bed topper. That's the cheapest thing you'll find anywhere. But I don't think that's a good excuse. They would have to just install it once on a Tundra and realize that it doesn't work. So it's just like poor product development, R&D, whatever you call it in the business, I don't know. So a little disappointed with that. Let's see. The other thing, this is stupid. This is just a personal preference thing and nothing that this company can do about it. But I just don't love the extra little inch of bulk that this adds to the tailgate, or not to the tailgate, but to the bed of the truck. I know it's silly. I just wish that it would be like perfectly flush. I know, like I said, the roll and lock, that's like my ideal bed cover, and it sits flush with it, and then it just rolls up backwards. The fact that this adds the little extra tiny little bit of bulk, I don't know, just messing with my head. I think I've owned the truck long enough where in my head I know what it's supposed to look like back here. Like I just know the height of the bed. And the extra little inch is just throwing me off. Again, nothing this company can do. It's just me being weird. I don't think I have any other complaints about it. It's still really new. Like I said, I've only had it on for a week, so I can't talk about longevity or how it's going to hold up over time, but it feels pretty heavy duty, and I would still definitely recommend it, with the one caveat of the brackets being stupid and having to modify them. But yeah, like I said, I bought it on Amazon. It was 130 bucks. I will have it linked in the description. by the time this goes up, it'll probably be too late to order it in time for Christmas, but you can always use your Christmas gift cards and get it afterwards. um, but yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you, as always, for watching. I know it's been a few months since I did a video, but I always appreciate you guys coming back, and I want to wish you guys a happy holidays, and I will see you maybe for one more video before the new year, but if not, I'll see you in 2025.